I'm not really sure how this happens. Works out this way sometimes, where something just mysteriously changes in my settings for no really good reason at all. So here we are for another proof pull. Gonna get us ready here. Here's how it works. I got a bag here. You get chips. Everyone has a chip in the bag who has a spot. I pull your chip out, I put it under the scope over here, and you'll see who it is. Then that person gets the next coin in the box. The box is filled with proof Lincoln cents. They go all the way back to 1953. And so we're going to see what we can't do about getting a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of real good coins. And let's see, who all do we have here? We've got Malcolm, Jesse. There's Angie, P. Adams. Let's see, who else? Mark Thomas. Let's see, Crispy. There's Rithi. Got a whole, Mr. Boudreau is here too. We have a whole stack of watchers here tonight. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and reach into the bag. Now these are blind reaches. It may not look like I'm blind reaching, but I am. I have no idea who I'm pulling out. And there is Taco John. Taco John, the first one. Taco John gets the first coin in the box, and the first coin in the box is a 1989 proof. 1989 proof. And I get my little spacer and put it up here. And there we go. Taco John with a 1989 proof. Grab a few of these and kind of lengthen my spot here. I have to draw to. All right, that's how it works. Grab a name out, and that name is who the coin goes to. Stephen is next. Let me put this the other way here. There we go. I knew I did that for a reason. It was so the lights don't get too bright on it. So, okay, we got Stephen. Stephen will get, how about that? 1979S Type 2. It's the clear S, 1979. 1979S Type 2. That's for Stephen. And next up on the list is, well, let's see if I can do this without. Dennis comes next. Dennis Paulson will get a nice 1970S proof. 1970S. Next up. Hello, Stanley. Here's Dennis again. Dennis just got one. And he's just now getting another one. Okay. That works that way sometimes. How about 2006 proof? 2006S proof. And that's for Dennis. Can everybody hear me fine now? Let's see. Okay, up next will be Mark. Mark Thomas. First coin, 1993. Proof, 1993. Jesse, I've got a whole stack of the... I've got your stack of 79S Type 2s ready to go. So I'll have to check on the other requests that you gave me and then get them together. But I am listening to you. Now, Stephen A. comes next. Stephen A. gets... Here's a 2000 proof. Y2K. Now, that thumbprint is on the holder, not on the coin. All right, here we go. Stanley. Next up, Stanley. And Stanley will get, ooh, a 1971. 1971 proof. RPMs galore that year. A few RPMs in the 1971 proofs. Always interesting and fun to look for. Here's one for Ted Evans. Let's see what Ted gets. Yes, sir, Doug, you did. You missed buying in again. There's a 1980 S proof for Ted. 1980 proof for Ted. Next up, Roxzilla. Roxzilla comes in with Y2K. Year 2000 proof. That's for Roxzilla. Let's see who's up next. Ted Evans again. Ted Evans. What's this one? Ooh, a 70S proof. It is a large date, but it could be a double die. You never know. There's a lot of double dies for the proofs in 1970. Even the double die reverses. Here is another one for Ted Evans. Ted's kind of taking the show right now. Here's a 1974 for Ted. 1974 proof. I have to move some more of these coins back so I'll have more room to place. As I move on with this, it takes up more space because I'm using poker chips and putting poker chips back in the box with the coins. Poker chips are pretty thick. You can see where we've already done it here. You've got a pretty big space there. I have to... Oh, I will need another box. I will need another box for sure. All right, who's next? Mark? And Mark gets 2005. Gets a 2005. That is for Mark. Next up, Miss Crowell. Miss Angie picks up a 1993. Proof 1993. 93 is one of those ones that's kind of a forgotten about year. Some of them tend to get a little bit more difficult to find, actually. Here's Otis. And Otis gets 2003. A 2003 proof. I'm going to need quite a bit, I know that for sure. I got a big stack of chips inside this bag. Here's Roxzilla. Roxzilla picks up a 1962 proof. 1962 for Roxzilla. Make sure you check those for double dies. There's a lot of them. Next up, Mr. Morrell. Mr. Morrell picks up a 1971 proof. 1971. San Francisco treat. 68 was the first year they picked up with the San Francisco mint on proofs. So anything after 67, actually 68 on up, are going to be San Francisco mint proofs. Here's another 1970S proof. This one's for Taco John. 1970. And next one again, Mr. Morrell. Ooh. Mr. Morrell picks up a wheat cent proof, 1958. 1958 proof, wheat cent. There we go. Next, well, Mr. Morrell comes out of the bag again. And he gets a Y2K proof this time. 2000. Let's see what's next. Next up, hello Eric, Mr. Adams. Here's crispymofo. Crispy pulls 1999. Now the 1999, be sure you check these for the close AM reverse. The wide AM reverse would be normal. Close AM is going to be an error. This is a wide AM. It's a normal wide AM. There's also a double die known for the reverse of 1999. There's also a double die known for the reverse of 1998 proofs. Here's one for Adam. This is Adam Chambers, or Coins and Ghouls. There's a nice 1964 proof. 1964 for Adam. Next up, Malcolm. Let me see if I can do something about this lighting issue. There we go. How about that? If I just take the light out altogether. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Malcolm will get a 2000 proof, Y2K, 2000 proof. Hey, Malcolm. Let's see, Roxzilla back up. Roxzilla back up. This one is a 1962 proof. This one's got color. This one's purty. Let's see who's next. Dennis. Back to Dennis. And Dennis will get a 1980 proof. 1980. Yep, 98 and 99 for sure. Another one for Dennis. And just for reaching in here and grabbing these things completely blindly, there's a year 2000 proof for Dennis. I'm sure drawing a pattern, right? Crispy again. There's Crispy again, and Crispy gets 1969. 1969 S proof. Be sure you're watching those for double dies. There's double dies on the reverse of 1969S, plus some RPMs on the obverse. Here's one for Otis. Otis now. Drawing a year 2000. 2000 proof. I would recommend actually watching all of the proofs from after 1991 for the type mismatch on the reverse. 1993 is the only one that's supposed to have the close AM. Anything else that has a close AM is going to be an error. Here's 1993 now. 1993 proof for Malcolm. Next up, Mark. Mark. 2017 proof. 2017. Steve. 1978. 1978. Nice decam on that. Deep cameo. Here's another one, Yo Man. Yo Man now. It's a 71. 1971 proof. I'm getting full. I'm going to have to get another box. Who was that said I needed another box? It's one thing about being me. I've always got boxes. Plenty of boxes. I have more empty boxes than I have full boxes, which can be a bad thing sometimes. Okay, I've pulled a bunch of them off. I'll slide these back and start grabbing out of here to give myself more space. I need a lot more space. There we go. There we go. More space. The final frontier. No. Not that kind of space. All right, let's see who's next. Ooh, Dennis again. We got Dennis again. Oh, with another Y2K. Year 2000. Let's see who's up next. I can't believe this. I got Dennis again. And Dennis gets a 1979 S Type 2 proof. 1979 S Type 2. It's clear S. Worth a little bit more than the Type 1s. A little harder to find, too. Crispy comes up next. And Crispy will get a 2000... Or see it. This is a 1970. I was going to say 2070. That would be an interesting coin. For sure. Next up, Malcolm. Mr. Malcolm gets a 2018. 2018 for Malcolm. And Mr. Morel. Y2K. Mr. Morel gets a Y2K. Year 2000. Thomas Murphy. Thomas. How about 1975? 1975 is one of the this actually says 73. I'm sorry, it's a 73. 73. So I'm going to say 75 is one of the tougher ones because of the bicentennial year. But we'll get into that later. Rithi Earth. 2006. 2006 for Rithi. See what I had next. Yo Man up next. And Yo Man gets a 1999. You'll have to check the reverse on that one because I have not done that. Next one. Malcolm again. Malcolm. 2004. 04 for Malcolm. Let's see here. Steve M. 2001. That color is not on the coin. The coin is actually this color. I don't know why it changed to this color with the lighting. That's kind of weird. Let's see, next up. Ted Evans. And Ted Evans pulls a 1980. 1980S. And who next but Malcolm? Malcolm again. And he gets a 2002. 2002 proof. Let's see what's up next here. Carl gets 1976. 1976. Make myself a little more room. There we go. Now, up next, Adam. 1971 for Adam. Always possible. 5 or 6 different double die obverses. A couple of them are really major. Steve. 1999. Do not forget to check the reverse on that one. Hello, Yo Man. Hello for Taco John. And Taco John gets 1972. 1972. Nice double die obverse to be found on 72 proofs. Who do we have here? Carl again. And Carl. It's a 1970. 1970S proof. And here is Mr. Morel. See, Brendan, when was this? This was on Sunday, during the Sunday auction. Mr. Morel will get a Type 2, 1979 proof. 1979 Type 2. Hello, Hidden. Let's see, who is next? Next up will be Mr. Morel again. And Mr. Morel gets, 1953. 1953. It's like a $20, $25 coin there. 1953 proof. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. Let's see. Next up. Steve. And Steve gets a Y2K at 2000 proof. The hair is free. You can have that part for free. I'm not charge anything extra for the hair. Next up, Angie 1969S. Angie with a 1969S proof. Let's see who's next. Taco John comes up next. Taco John gets Y2K 2000 proof. Oof. Yeah, I'm not really sure, yo man. Does it look normal otherwise? If it looks normal, then it could be a rolled thin stock. It could be a tapered planchet. It could be a split before strike. There's a 1979 Type 2. 1979 Type 2 for Malcolm. Here's Taco John. Taco John again. Woohoo! Here we go. 1957. 1957 wheat cent for Taco John. Nice 57 there. Congrats, Taco John. Who's next? Yo Man. Yo Man with 2002. 2002. Next up, Steve. And Steve gets 1976. 1976. Go ahead and pull these and put them in the front over here. And start working on this side. There we go. All right, grab one way back in the back. See if we get somebody new. Nope. Yo, man. Yo, man. I think we've already been through everybody once, at least. Here's a 1980 for Yo, man. And Carl. Carl now. Ooh, here's a 2017. 2017 deep cameo proof. Let me get my little spacer. There we go. Mr. Morrell comes up next. Mr. Morrell gets 1999. 1999. Dennis again. Been a little while since we've seen Dennis. 1973. 1973. Let's try again. Stephen A. 1971. 71 proof. Be watching those for the double die obverses and for the repunchment marks. Be watching those carefully. Here's Stephen A. again. Straight out again, 2002. 2002 proof for Stephen A. Thomas Murphy, 1989. 1989 there for Thomas. That was the first year I really started buying proof sets. 1989. I think I bought a half a case of them that year. Ted Evans. Ted Evans gets a 1970S. A really nice looking little toning ring around it. That's for Ted. What else here? Here's Mark. Mark Thomas. And he gets a 1970S. 1970 for Mark. Let's see. Penny Hoarder. There's a name I haven't seen yet. How about a 1984? Year I entered high school. It's the year I got my driver's license. 1984. Yeah, no, I'm just a kid, right? Here's Otis. It's a 1974. 10 years earlier. All 1974 proofs are large date, but they do come with two different mint mark styles. The mint mark style used from 1971 to 1974. And then there is a mint mark style used from 1974 to 1979. Coincidentally, it is the 1979 Type 1 mint mark, which is the 1974 Type 2. They did the same thing in 1981. They changed again. The 1979 Type 2 mint mark was the 1981 Type 1 mint mark. A little confusing, isn't it? Well, I'd like to see what you've got, yo man. If you can get a picture of it, just send it to me through email, and I'll help you out with that. Here's Tim Morrell, 2005. 2005 S for Tim. This one from Mark again. And Mark, 1993. 1993. Proof. Let's see what we have now. Here's Yo Man. And Yo Man will get a 2001. 2001 for Yo Man. Let's see who's up next. Adam. Coins and Ghouls, Adam. It's a 2004. It's a 2004. Take the spacer out of the back here. There we go. Alright, next up, Otis. Otis gets 1969. 1969S. And here is one for Rithi. Yeah, it gets a little confusing when you're talking about the types of S mint marks because the grading companies like to do the whole Type 1, Type 2 thing, but they don't realize that your Type 1 is going to change into a Type 2 for another year, you know? Your 1981S Type 1 is the same as a 1979S Type 2. So here's a 2000 for Rithi. Let's see who we've got up next. Roxzilla. Roxzilla pulls. 1957. 1957. Proof wheat cent. There it is right there. Nice little pull, Roxzilla. Let's see what we get next. Carl. Carl with a 1980. This one's got a little bit of smoky haze in the center. Let's see who's next. Well, Carl again. How about that? Carl again gets a 2000 this time. A 2000. Let's see. Stephen A. 2000. P. Adams. This time pulls a 1979S Type 2. 1979S Clear S. It's the one that's a little more valuable than the earlier type, which is the Solid S, or the what I like to call the Gold Brick S, because it has a very tall bevel to it. Looks like a brick of gold. P. Adams. 1993 S. You know what? The poured ingots with the beveled edges. That's what the edges of the 1974 through 1979 S look like. Here's one for Gulf Coast Treasures. First pull for him of the day. 1969S. 1969S. And here is Rithi again. Rithi gets a 2000S. Y2K. Let's see what's next. Roxzilla again. There's Roxzilla gets 1971. Roxzilla for a 1971 proof. And Malcolm now. Malcolm, 1999. 1999. So you've got only 3 years since 1950 that did not have any proof coins. No proof coins during those 3 years, and that's 1965, 1966, and 1967. Those 3 years, they made what they called special mint sets. They were like proof coins, and they were treated like proof coins. See, Stanley has a 1978 here, but they were not considered proof coins. Those dies were retired into regular use at the mint, so you will find some coins sometimes that have characteristics of being like an SMS coin, except they are not. Now, SMS, again, stands for Special Mint Set. And the SMS coins are not really any more valuable than your typical proof from those years, but I don't sell them as proof coins because they are not proof. They're not officially graded as proofs. They're not considered proofs. There's a 1984, 1984S. That's for Penny Hoarder. Next up, Yo Man. Yo Man pulls 1961. 1961 for Yo Man. I have to pull a few more coins here. There we go. Now, who gets next dibs? Taco John. Taco John comes up next with 1956. 1956. Nice, nice. Alright, let's see who pops out next. Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams next with 1970. 1970S. Next up, be Carl. Carl again. This one's a 1973. 1973. We will have the nickel proof pull show tomorrow. And then after that, we'll be packing your mail to go. Malcolm gets a 1980. Why are the 65 through 67 so thick? Are you talking about the SMS coins, or are you talking about just in general? If you're saying in general, well, pretty much all of them. Here's another one for Dennis now. Dennis, it's another 1979S Type 2. 1979S Type 2. One of the main reasons why the Lincoln cents of 1965 through 67 are seemingly thick is an issue that was being dealt with, and by 1968 or 69 actually, they had it taken care of. The master hubs were so worn out and so dished up that when they struck the coins, they had a deeper relief. And this really kind of got started around 1960, but really 1964, 1965 is when they really noticed it. And it started really taking hold that you were getting a much deeper strike. Well, when you get a deeper strike, you're still striking the same amount of metal. So if I take two deep things and run them together, run two deep things together like this, it's going to sandwich out more of it, and it's going to come out around the rim because, well, you're just squishing a lot of stuff together like that. And when it comes out on the rim's going to be thicker. Because the rim is thicker, the coins stack thicker. Well, given that they stack thicker, they seem like they weigh more, they seem like they're bigger or something like that. Well, that's not actually the truth. But the rims are going to be a little thicker on 65 through 67 coins. For that reason, $19.99 now for Steve. Let's try next up Roxzilla. Roxzilla will come out in 1961. 1961. Let's see. Next up, Adam Chambers. Adam, 1959. 1959, first year of the memorial cent. Adam gets one of those. Thank you, yo man. I'll take a look as soon as the show's over here tonight. Here's one for Rithi. 1961. 1961. Next up, Stanley. Haven't seen Stanley's name in a while. What does Stanley get? Year 2000. A 2000 proof for Stanley. Hopefully I got enough coins. I should have. There's one for Mark. And Mark gets a 1970S. 1970S proof. Who's up next? Well, Rithi again. 71 S proof. 1971 S proof. Stanley Z. I knew he was going to have to start coming back out soon. How about a 2007? 2007S for Stanley. Next, Otis. Oh, nice. A 2009 presidential proof. 2009 presidential proof. The presidency. Very nice. That one for Otis. Sweet. What do we have next? Steve? And for Steve, we get a 2005. 2005 proof. Get more of these out of here. All right, let's see who we have next. Mr. Adams. P. Adams. Woohoo! Bam! 1954. 1954. Beautiful 1954 proof cent. The hair comes free. Very nice one. 1954. Talking about a $15 coin there. All right, next up, Carl. Carl gets 2000. Hello, sissy. Dennis again. Dennis back now with another Y2K. You don't have a 54 proof? Well, you do now. All right, next up is going to be Adam. Let me readjust my chair. My back is hurting. Try to get myself into a position where I can kind of sit back a little bit. And see if... Okay. There. Hopefully everybody can hear me just fine. going to scoot the box a little closer to me so I can get to it. So there's Adam. Now the box. Out of the box comes the year I graduated high school, 1986. 1986. We were the 25th graduating class of the school. Stanley? Let's see what Stanley gets. Here's 1983. It's not the prettiest coin, but it is there. Let's see what's next. Mr. Adams again. Mr. Adams will get a 2002. 2002 proof. Next up, Mark. Mark gets a 1960 proof. 1960. Hello, Andrew. Here's one for Mark. For Mark again, 2007. 2007 this time. Well, Jesse, you graduated in a year the United States didn't make proof coins. Prior to the change around and the attempt to make things easier on the mint in 1965, the last year that we did not have proof coins would have been 1949. 1949, they were just getting back to a strong economy and bringing things back in the economy. And so it was a period of time that they were kind of still working on trying to get everything together at the mint. And 1950 turned out being the first year they created proofs since they quit doing it for the war in 1942. Here's one for Carl. One for Carl. And it's a 2004. 2004 for Carl. Let me get one of my little spacers. There we go. All set. There's Penny Hoarder. Penny Hoarder gets 1999. 1999 for Penny Hoarder. Next, back to Yo Man. Yo Man pulls a 2005. I'm sorry, 2005. 2005 San Francisco proof. How do you get into this, Andrew? You register with us first. You send an email to, can someone else type this in for me? coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. Send me your real name, your YouTube username, which can be the same thing sometimes, and your PayPal email address, and we'll get you registered. Then for shows like this, you have to be present to participate at one of 3 other shows that we do. So 75 for Ted. It can either be at the Sunday auction, the Monday show, which is a reveal sales show, or on Tuesday for the auction. And I will inevitably offer these up for sale during one of those shows. And then we come in and we do it and we have fun with it. There's a Y2K for Adam. These spots were $2 a piece. Thank you, Malcolm. $2 a coin, and we had proof coins going back to 1953 in this box. Here's a 79S Type 2. That's for Roxzilla. Now for Tim Morrell. Mr. Morrell gets 1980S. That's all you have to do is register with us so we'll know how to get a hold of you when you bid and win anything at one of our auctions or you purchase anything at our auctions. Here's Steve. 1993. That's Steve M. Here's one for Penny Hoarder. Penny Hoarder picks up a 2000 proof. Y2K proof. Funny how these turn weird colors in the light. But it's actually just a red coin. No real color other than red. Here's Stanley Zolkowski. 1971. 1971 for Stanley. You're very welcome, Andrew. Hope to see you at the auctions. Here's one for Yo-Man now. Yo-Man gets a 1970. Never know when these could turn out to be double dies, RPMs, pretty much any of that stuff. I don't check any of it on these proofs. All my proof draws are kind of a blind draw. I don't really know even what's here. I just take it all and mix it at random so that everyone gets a good fair shake at the early and good stuff. I have no idea whose name I pull next. I have no idea what the next coin in the box is either. Here's one for Carl. One for Carl. It's 1973. 1973 proof for Carl. What's up next? Here's one for Crispy. Crispy Mofo, 1969S. A 69S proof. Let's see. Angie. 2006. 2006 proof for Angie. Hello, Mr. Ignatz. How are you doing today, sir? I've pulled your name a few times. I'm not sure whether I've got all of yours done yet or not. Let's see here. Well, Yo-Man's going to pick up a 1992 proof. 1992. Nope, wrong place to put it. There we go. Who's next? Rithi Yorth. Rithi? 1962. 1962 for Rithi Yorth. Who's next? Well, Rithi again. That's who's next. And Rithi gets a 1969S. 1969S. Up next, Steven. Y2K for Stephen A. Y2K for Stephen A. I know, I'm horrible at rhyming stuff. It just happens to happen. Here's a 1970S for Gulf Coast Treasures. And now for Penny Hoarder. Penny Hoarder, 79S Type 2. 79S Type 2. Some slight value to those. Hello, Logan's Coins. We are doing a proof pull. Had a whole bunch of people buy poker chips that are in this blind bag. And then I've got a blind box of sorted proof Lincoln cents from 1953 up to 2019. Draw your name out, lay your chip down, grab the next coin in the box, and the next one happens to be a 1971 proof. And that's how the game works. Some pretty decent winners. Tomorrow night there's going to be a nickel proof pull. During the nickel proof pull, there will actually be some AU to uncirculated 1940s silver nickels pulled along with the proofs. This is Rithi's coin, a 1957. 1957. Really nice 1957 proof scent. Hello, Roger. Let's see what we have next. Taco John. Taco John comes up next. He gets 1980. 1980 proof. So this proof pull was kind of an idea that I came up with about a year ago to sell out a box of proof coins that I purchased, and everybody enjoyed it so much we decided to keep doing it. And so I've been restocking and redoing them as I can. Here's a 1999 S proof for Otis. I've already pulled a couple of 53s, a couple of 54s, a 56, a couple of 57s, a 58 out of this box so far. So they're getting their money's back worth out of it for $2 a coin. 2005 proof, 2005. Now for Rithi. A lot of these, if you go to a dealer, you're going to find that a lot of dealers will sell these proof coins, especially in the 90s and 2000s. They sell them for between $3 and $6 a piece. You're getting them for $2. Here's a 1998. Yeah, see, someone else marked this at $7. It had been marked $8. They marked it down to $7. Let me make some more space. Just like that. And just like that, I had more space in my box. Let's see, Roxzilla. Roxzilla comes up next, and Roxzilla's going to get a 2002. 2002 proof. Third tier pros. I'm not even sure I could compete in third tier pros with women. No way. I'm probably a 7th tier male. Ted Evans next gets a 2004. And next up, Ted Evans again. Ted Evans again. What does he get now? 1971. 1971 for Ted. Oh, let's see. What's next? Crispy. 1999. Nickel pull. Also proofs. All of them proof. About 1954. All the way up to about 2010. About as far up as I go in the nickels. I have almost all of the issues in between there. And there will be some bonus coins thrown into the nickel pool. The nickel pool will also contain some AU to uncirculated 1940s silver nickels. And it's tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And Steven is going to get the next coin. The next one is a 2000. Year 2000. Yep, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. I do everything on Eastern Time because I live 100 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. Here's one for Taco John. Taco John now at 1970. 1970 for Taco John. And Otis. Otis up next. Oh, Sissy was asking when it was, not what it was. Whoops. 1973. 1973 for Otis. And next up, Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans again with a 2005. 2005 proof. And Taco John up next. Taco John, 1997. 1997 proof. 96, 97, both slightly harder years to get. Slightly harder. A little bit more expensive. Here's Crispy Mofo. Crispy with a 1979 S, Clear S, Type 2. Steven, you got 4 2000 proofs. I'll take care of you. What I'll do is when I load your pages, if I see that you're getting extras of extras, I'll take the worst of them and swap them out in my box for something that's not so extra. That way you're not getting duplication after duplication. Here's Penny Hoarder, 1969. Yeah, that's what I'll do for you, especially if you say that you would prefer not to get duplication if possible. I can always go in and try to pull something for you that's not going to duplicate. Here is Mr. Evans, Ted Evans, 1970. 1970, the hair comes free. You can have the hair on me. There we go. All right, Ted. I will do that for you, Stephen. No problem, sir. Let's see. Stanley Zolkowski gets a 1993. 1993. Looked like that had been marked $7 and someone changed it to a 4. And who is next but Steven? Is it a Y2K? It's becoming a joke now. No, it's a 1999. It's the year before. Here we go for Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams will get 1961. 1961. Here's Otis again. Here's Otis, 1993. 1993 for Otis. And next up, Mr. Morrell again. Mr. Morrell will pick out a, well, there's a Y2K. Stephen, Tim has one of these to trade to you. I understand you need one. I'm just poking at you. I do that because I like you. Adam, 1973. 1973 S proof for Adam. Let's see, Roxzilla. 1971 proof, 1971 for Roxzilla. Don't have a whole lot left. Is there probably about 20 left in there? Steve with a 2000 Y2K. That's not Steven, that's Steve. So Steve's loading up on him. Thomas. I'll go back and make additional pulls for you, Tim, and for Steven. Here's a 1970S for Thomas Murphy. Crispy. Let's see. Crispy gets a 1980. 1980 for Crispy. Otis. 1970. 1970 for Otis. See, Steven, there's always a good bright side to everything. If you were playing poker, you'd have a winning hand. Except that the year 2000 is a 2 with 3 zeros. Paul Adams. Mr. Adams, 1975. One of the tougher years to get is the 1975. 1975 and 1976 Lincoln cents accompanied the bicentennial coins. Not very many of them were made in 1975. 1976 tended to be the one that was a higher mintage, easier to find. There's Adam, 1971. And so to this day, 1975 proof Lincoln cents go at a slight premium. Let's see. What do I do with rolls that are ultra high grade specimens? Talking about those rare coins that are crisp and perfect 67s just look different. Do you sell or keep? I keep. The ones I end up with, I keep. Penny Hoarder, 2006. 2006 proof for Penny Hoarder. Yeah, I usually keep all of the ones I do run into, and when I get them, I hold on to them for bulk submission grading. I'm getting ready to submit a large bulk group for grading. Here's 1997 for Steve. Who's up next? Steven. There you go, Steven. There's one for you, 1957. How about a 1957? Get you a nice wheat cent. A wheat cent. It's like a wheat thin, but it's a wheat cent. Like 57s. 57s are always cool. Here's a 1979 Type 2 for Yo Man. 1979 S Type 2 for Yo Mango. Crispy. Crispy up next. Gets one of those Y2Ks. Crispy, Steven's looking for those. He's trying to put a roll together. There's one for Adam. Adam will get 1970. 1970 proof. Next up, Rithi. 1962. I don't know. There could be, Carl. I'm not sure if there's any 79 Type 1s in here. All I know is I put about a half a roll of 79 Type 2s in my draw box. So that's where those are coming out of. There's like a half a roll of 73s in there as well. That's where this came from. Sanji. Just got a few left. Got to make a little bit of room here. There we go. Let me go ahead and get these stacked up. Then I'll just pull them off the stack. I'm going to get them stacked at random, complete random. Then I'm going to flip them all over face up so we can just pull them off the stack. Let's see how many I've got left here. Still a few left in the bag. The bag is empty. The bag is empty. And that's my first stack. And my second stack. That's my second stack. Here's my first stack. The first one off the first stack is going to be Stanley. Stanley's going to get 1962. 1962 for Stanley. Next up is going to be Angie. Angie gets a 2002. 2002 for Angie. Now Crispy with a 1970. 1970 for Crispy. An 81 or an 82. I have 81s and 82s. There'll probably be 81s and 82s in the next load. Malcolm, another 1970. You guys have to realize I'm working with like dozens of rolls of proof cents. Sometimes I don't get some of a date thrown into the sort box. Sometimes I do. All right, Stephen with 1969. Crispy, 1970. And then P. Adams, Y2K. It's a 2000. And Gulf Coast with a 2003. Penny Hoarder. Jesse, pay attention. 1982. All 1982s are large date. All of them are copper. So it's a 1982 large date copper proof. Here's one from Mark. 1977. 1977 for Mark. For Malcolm. 1993. Tis raining here. We've got an off the coast low pushing moisture in from the Atlantic, and we're getting rain today. 1983 for Otis. 83 for Otis. Dennis again. Dennis gets 1970. 1970 for Dennis. Carl with 1959. 1959. Now Roxzilla gets a 2001 S. 2001 S proof. Stanley with a 1973. 1973 for Stanley. P. Adams gets a 1957. I think that's your second wheat cent there, Mr. Adams. 1957. And then for Penny Hoarder, 1999. 1999. And there we go. That's all of them. That's everybody who was involved in this draw today. And so, how do you guys like it? Good show? Something you want to do again? I had what I had called a singles pull. A singles pull was, I think, $4 per coin. I can make it cheaper. I can go down to $2 a coin on it. Can do $2 a coin, and we can pull BU wheat pennies, early wheat pennies, and some proof coins, and do do that for a pull where we can get you some great value. I have the nickels will be coming up tomorrow, so we've got a bunch of proof nickels working tomorrow, and now I've got an entire batch of the silver wartime nickels in AU to uncirculated condition, from which we can pull some extras to have some bonus coins for you guys. But this is what I've got for tonight. This is about it. It takes, you can't imagine the amount of time it takes to actually get ready for something like this. It's really kind of sort of a headache to get ready for. You realize that I keep these poker chips for you guys. And I had poker chips for people who haven't been around in close to a year. And so I used their poker chips to recreate poker chips for new people. But when you are an active participant in my show, I keep a set of 10 poker chips for each of you. That's why I don't allow people to do more than 10, because 10 is all the poker chips I automatically have created for people. And it just makes sense to have that as the maximum. Now yeah, I understand, Timothy. Some people don't like the nickels, and I can understand that, but other people don't mind nickels at all. I might even do a silver coin thing sometime. Who knows? We'll see how that works. But I appreciate you guys being around. You guys have a great night, and I am going to take off and get these separated by people and start doing that part. And then tomorrow we'll have a couple of reveals, and then we'll have the nickel proof show tomorrow evening. We got 2 reveals coming up tomorrow afternoon, and then the nickel reveal tomorrow evening. The afternoon rolls are going to be a 1962D roll and a 2011 Philadelphia roll, and I do believe I may also have a 1949S scheduled for tomorrow afternoon. But then tomorrow evening I definitely have the nickel pull, and then on Saturday we will be doing the last couple of reveals before we have the auction on Sunday. Sunday, regular auction, is going to be singles and some proof coins, some double dice, some repunchment marks. And then Monday, we'll have another reveal sales show. If you're new to the channel, be sure you watch out for a reveal show. The reveal shows all have about the same cover on them. Go pick a reveal show, an older one, and you can watch it and see what we do. We basically go through an entire roll of coins, and I explain to you what die varieties are coming out of those rolls of coins. And then we get a flip insert made for you that has the die number of that die variety on it for you to keep for your collection. And if it happens to be a new one or one that we use on the show, on the website, that we photograph it for coppercoins.com, we will place your coin in with an insert that actually has a pen-signed original signature by me, that if you submit that to NX, they will annotate your coin as a plate coin for coppercoins.com. It's pretty cool. But here we are at the end of the show. I appreciate everybody being here. You guys have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.